give you a little introduction to myself. I'm Henry Fanning. I'm one of the instructors for the IET and program coordinator. I'm a previous graduate. I graduated in 2006. After that, I went back and got my double E. And here about 6 months ago, I decided to join OC Tech as an instructor. And I was really pleased to find out that I could join in the program that I actually graduated from a number of years ago. So I thought that was really cool, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Mr. Richardson?
Yeah, I'm Doug Richardson, and I'm what you call, I guess, an old head. I've been in this program for a long time, close to 30 years of experience with this career field. I graduated in '92 with this program, and it's been very good to me ever since. I had my field of all kind of ventures.
Yeah.
I too started out in another program, and then I transposed over here. I was in physics, and I kind of tied physics with what we're doing now, and took off ever since then. So I've been a control engineer for a couple of companies. I've been just a little bit of everything: boiler technician, emergency technician, hospital equipment technician, and all kind of good stuff. I even run my own little service every now and then, little electrical service. What you trying to do, residential? Help people out from time to time, and also help myself out, and things of that nature there. And I've been instructing off and on like a little bit over 25 years. Work with the power industry, work with SCE&G, DPU, Coil, to name a few. Who else? It's been so many, I just forgot. Like I said, I'm an old head. I gotta rattle. Sometimes I gotta tap the brain and see what I got there left. But I've been around. Gave Uncle Sam 10 years of my life, 10 years in the Air Force. Worked on aircrafts, electronics, and hydraulics. Been around the world about 2 or 3 times. So it could be done.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Industrial electronics and a life as an industrial technician can take you a lot of places.
Yeah.
It served well for me, as Mr. Richardson said. It served him well, and it basically just all depends on how much you enjoy the field and how passionate you are.
Right.
To be honest with you, if you're just in to get a piece of paper and to get a little bit of extra green in your pocket, it'll help you do that. But the ones that really do well in the program are the ones that really dig into it and enjoy it. And it's not an easy field. Even though it's a 2-year degree or a certificate program, it's not an easy field. And it's not for the faint-hearted, because you can be working with things that can kill you before you think twice about it. So it's something you have to be serious about, and things that you have to consider. But I'm going to try and go through this presentation that everybody's got to sit through orientation. We'll try to make it painless as possible anyway.
Or painful.
Let me share my screen. Michael, forgive me. We're all learning all this new media stuff.
Yeah.
Due to COVID.
So.
Which remind me why he's doing that. With COVID, we're gonna ask you to. Like we can ask all the other students also, is to dig a little deeper, because a lot of this stuff, like I said, it's not hard. You just have to put the time, put the work in. You have to ask the right questions. Why am I here? What am I doing this for? Who's it for? Okay, is this a place that I want to be? And if you can answer yes to all them questions, I will promise you, and so will Mr. Fanning, that you will have a good time in this course. You'll pick up a lot, It'll serve you well. It'll serve you well. However way you want to use it. You can use it as a hobby, use it as a career field, but you got to have a love for it.
Yeah.
You don't have a love for it, then you're just chasing a dollar bill. If you're chasing a dollar bill, you'll never be happy.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at some of these great guys and the great things that they have done, and I'm talking about anywhere from the medical field to the political field, they had a love for what they do and what they did, and that's why they excel to where they are.
Makes
So
sense.
you got to have them type of commitments.
Can you see this screen with all the blue and the industrial electronics technology on it? Okay, good deal. So Ms. Richardson and I are going to go through this and discuss a few things along the way. And if you have any questions, honestly, you're the only one here today. So feel free to stop us. We're going to, and the other thing too is if you do everything, we kind of treat you like this is a job.
Mm-hmm.
So because you're training for your future.
Yeah.
You do what you need to do. You come in prepared. We're going to try and have fun along the way. Yes, you're here to learn, but we're gonna try to do what we can to keep it as lighthearted as possible. And we feel like that's going to help you to learn along the way. We're going to cut up. We're going to, try to have a good time. But ultimately, there's times where we have to be real serious with what we're doing, just because of how dangerous what we do can be. So here's a few, just a few items that you may find yourself working on at some point in the future. In industrial electronics technology, you can range anything from extremely small systems, like the guy up here working on a PC board, to extremely large systems in industry, where the system that you're working on may encompass acres, even above and beyond many hundreds and thousands of square feet. I've worked on systems that ranged all the way across an entire plant. And technically, when it all boiled down to it, it was still just one automated system. It's just it was spread out over a very large area.
Oh.
So one thing you're going to find out about IET is you're never going to do the same thing twice. I got a little video embedded in here. I think it's like a minute and a half, and it's going to give you a little overview. Let's see if I can get it to work right.
My name is Brad Durbin. I am an industrial maintenance technician at Founders Brewing Company.
Can you see and hear that?
Basically, our job is to install, commission, maintain, and troubleshoot all items of technology that you would see in a brewery here. As a child, that was for me building, blocks and Legos, essentially. That kind of interest in just engineering, as it were, that really made me want to get in a position where I could continue to do that and something different every day. And I've learned such a broad spectrum of things in different areas of technology. The best part of my job, I think, is being able to work with the advancement of technology, specifically with automation. This is where there's going to be jobs. I grew up in Indiana, which is very agriculturally based, and even that is starting to see a shift towards automation and heavy industry. As this field has been kind of pioneered in the last 100 years, a lot of those initial guys are starting to get out. And so the opportunities of jobs that already exist are there. And not only that, more are being created every day. So as big companies look to manufacture and look to automate and streamline and, just produce more, these jobs are going to keep popping up.
And there is a wealth of you don't know where you'll be. You could be on a farm, a small farm, or you can be in a big plant like that. You could be in the middle of the United States working on just simple circuits. It looks big, but when you break it down, all it is simple circuits, simplicity. Again, it's how far you willing to go and what you're willing to do.
Yeah, I've in my previous industrial life, I've worked in all over the United States, Canada. I had opportunities to go overseas. It's literally limited only by what you want to do. In our program, any school program you go into, they can't teach you everything. We cannot teach you everything that you're going to run into. But what we try to do is give you the basic skills you need to be able to enter as an industrial technician, and give you the background that you need to at least be familiar enough with any situation you go into that you
Yeah.
can figure it out on your own. I would say the knowledge that you're going to pick up in this program is vital, but the ability to use and apply that knowledge is based on how much effort and attention to detail you put into it. So, you know, we can teach you some stuff, but the ability to apply that stuff is going to be what really turns you into a grade A technician. You know, you're going to install, optimize, maintain essential systems. If electricity is there, they need electrical and electronic technicians to help maintain and fix stuff as it breaks. Electricity is everywhere, from your house to who makes your Fruit Loops for the morning. Electricity is there, and there's an industrial technician there keeping things running correctly. So that's why we consider this to be such a valuable field. You know, the statistics say that the median salary is like $53,700.
Disagree.
Ms. Richardson can tell you this. We know people that make less than that. We know people that make way more than that. A lot of it has to do with just where you end up at and how well you do in the job. Here's an overview of the associate's degree program. Like I said, the certificate program that you're currently in is a piece of this.
Okay.
And I would highly advise you to just go ahead and take a look at the catalog and all, and compare the differences and see if you want to go ahead and make that shift. Because if you do want to pick up a couple of extra classes that maybe aren't a part of your certificate program, now is a good time to make that decision because it's easy to change. A few weeks into the semester, you're going to be pretty much locked into where you don't have that flexibility. So, you know, take a look at it. If you want to change, give us a holler. We can get you changed pretty quick within the next couple of days.
Okay.
Your first semester associate's degree program, you're taking, well, this is for the fall. You're starting in the spring, so you're going to be a little bit off cycle.
About a year.
And you know, we had some guys that started this way last year. It's just going to be a little different. So it's going to be something you're going to have to work through. Next fall, you'll be taking the stuff that some guys have already taken, but it's okay. It all works out in the end. But generally, fall first semester, you're taking basic AC/DC circuits, hydraulics, pneumatics, basic industrial skills, and then, of course, your general education requirements. And it's kind of mixed in. And you'll see the further you go along in your associate's degree or certificate program, the more you start focusing on the IET-based classes. Less general education classes, more career-focused classes. Second semester, which is where you'll be entering in, you got your AC/DC circuits 2, residential commercial wiring, basic industrial skills 2, and you can't take the 118 until you've taken 117. So that may be a limitation where as you're getting into the program this semester, but you got plenty of other classes that you can take in place of that. So like I said, you won't be following the exact schedule, but we'll work something out along the way. If you decide to go with the full associate's degree program, we have the summer 1 session, and the way it's based is you do fall, spring, summer, and then fall, spring, and you graduate. Like I said, you'll be a little bit off on the schedule a little bit, but it'll work out in the long run.
All right, so you won't see any of this until next year this time, because you did start right now in the spring, whereas if you would have started in the fall, you'd have been on schedule, and that's the way the platform. But like I said, we'll keep you engaged, you know, and get you up to speed as much as we can. But you realize we can't just throw you in there without, you know, you have a prereqs in there.
Yeah.
You said you worked at some warehouses and stuff like that around Orangeburg?
Yeah, I just currently stopped working at Husqvarna at the end of last year, so.
Well, that's kind of funny. actually, Mr. Richardson and I both have spent a little time at Husqvarna and many years ago. But
Many moons ago, yes.
I think everybody's worked there at some point in their life.
Yeah.
And Husqvarna's one of the places that helped me to realize that I needed to go back and finish my education too.
Yeah.
So we know where you're coming from. Now here's your basic electrician certificate. Like I said, it's just a condensed version of the associate's degree.
Uh-huh.
And it's geared towards people that, for whatever reason, can't do the full associate's degree program, which is fine. It gets you some credentials to get you along the way.
Mhm.
And it's just up to the individual to decide which way they want to go. We always encourage everybody to shoot for the associate's degree. And then if you're not able to, take the step to go towards the certificate program. So a few less requirements, but in the end, it's still the same basic classes.
And one thing about this career field, anyway, you always going to be learning, or always going to be some type of training environment, because the field of electrical and electronics changes every day. Okay, so they're always constantly updating ourselves and making ourselves better in order to be competitive in this career field.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that
Mr.
in mind.
Richardson and myself, we're still both learning.
Right.
Being a few years under our belt, the stuff that we learned and cut our teeth on is now old technology. So I hope you enjoy always learning.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be what it is. And honestly, it's not that different for any other field you go into.
That's right.
There's always going to be new stuff that you have to learn, no matter what you're doing. So here we're going through the certificate program type stuff. All of this is in the course catalog for you to look at. So I'm just kind of breezing through it because I don't think you want to be here with us all day. When you're signing up for your courses, something that you need to be careful of, if you're wanting to take day classes, evening classes, internet classes, the sections have different numbers that coincide with it. If you see over to the right-hand side of the screen, sections 1 through 18, those are generally your normal day classes. Now, most of your IET program classes, they're going to be normal or hybrid classes. Okay. So they're going to be in that 1 through 18. If you see a 90 through 99, that's an evening course. Sections 40 through 49, that's going to be your online classes. And then sections 90, that's going to be strictly evening, what they call evening college. So
yeah, well, 90 HY, which is hybrid evening college.
Yep.
So.
Thank you. So just keep a lookout for that as you're signing up for classes, because you'll actually go on to your own, Connect, and sign up for classes. So you just want to be knowledgeable about which classes you're picking. Some people, they want to pick, like for English and math, they want to do an online course so they don't actually physically have to come to the college. Some people don't want anything to do with online courses. They want to be here in an actual class. So it's all on your preference. And the last thing you want to do is sign up for the wrong class. And we're always here for you to come and ask us if you need a little bit of help on it. Sometimes we'll actually hook you up with another student who's been here for a while and kind of knows the system a little bit better. So
best approach.
Here's a little bit more information about online hybrid classes. I'm not going to bog you down with that too much. There's some things that we expect when you come to the classroom. We run everything off of a syllabus, which gives you a lot of basic information. Pretty much every class is going to have a book requirement. You're going to need the book prior to coming to class. We've heard get a couple of weeks in and somebody goes, "Oh, you mean I needed my book?" Yeah. Yeah, you need your book. If it's in the syllabus, you need it. So we try not, we know the books are a cost, but they're for your benefit, and it's also for your future library. I can't tell you how many times I've gone back to my books. I still have some of my books from when I went through the program, and I still refer back to them from time to time to refresh myself on, gee, I don't remember how to do this, and I need to be able to remember it. So some of those books you're going to want to keep your entire life, probably, just to be able to have it in your personal library to be able to go back to and refer to. We don't have a strict dress code, but, no open-toed shoes in lab. Last thing you want is a piece of cut wire or something. And that's another thing. Our labs are hands-on. You're actually going to be wiring up stuff. You're actually going to be doing something. Hopefully not, but on occasion you may actually blow up something. But hopefully it's controlled enough that it doesn't hurt you, and it helps you. This is all about learning. So we're trying to help you to do things that, even if it's on a small scale, it applies, the theories that you're going to be learning will apply to a system no matter how large it is. So, we allow people to use their phones to a certain degree. Sometimes we'll even tell you, hey, pull your phone out and look up this component. Rather than giving you the information on the component, we want you to know how to research it on your own, so that when you're out there on your own, we don't want you calling us at 2:00 in the morning going, hey, Mr. Fandon, how do I look up this component?
Right.
No, we want to show you that there's tools out there, especially now with smartphones and stuff like that.
Smartphones and YouTube.
Yep,
Yeah.
It's literally at your fingertips. Sometimes there may be times where, for instance, conduit bending. I can bend conduit, but I don't do it every day. So I may tell you to go on YouTube and look up 5 or 6 videos that are of certain criteria, or I may give you a list of videos to go and watch. And these are people that do it every day, and I feel like they've done a really good job explaining it better than I probably can, so that when we actually come to class, you're already ahead of the game a little bit.
Yeah.
So we use some videos sometimes from, to help with the learning process, because we feel like you don't always want to sit there and listen to us constantly. I mean, I know we're pretty and everything, but hey, sometimes we got to give you a break. And the other thing is talk with us. The more you interact with us, the more that you talk with us, honestly, normally the shorter the classes are. Because that lets us know that you're engaged. That lets us know that you're understanding things. If people are just sitting in class going, just staring at us, then we're going to just sit there and just keep talking to you as long as we can, most of the time.
And we
feel like we got to keep telling you stuff for it to absorb in. I don't know.
We don't read minds, for God's sake. We don't read minds. And the dumbest question that you can ask is none at all.
Right.
This is true. Now, that doesn't mean we won't giggle at some questions, but,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like I said, we're here to have fun along the way. Everything is, of course, internet-based. You have calendars at your discretion. There are 2 systems that we're going to work on for you. One is Connect and one is D2L. Connect is like your online college information board. Everything's pretty much there. You can get to the catalog. You can get to student services. This is where you sign up for your classes. A lot of good information there. Now, D2L is like class-specific information. Especially now with the COVID and everything, classes are actually more hybrid than they used to be. Used to be you just came to class and we told you everything you needed to know in class. Well, now we're trying to incorporate things on the D2L system so that you have like a virtual classroom that you can look at, refer to. We'll make announcements. Say I get sick and I'm not going to be able to make class. I'll go on D2L and I'll do an announcement that says, hey guys, class is canceled today. You need to go ahead and look over chapter 3.
Okay.
So that way
Assignment.
you're not wasting your time coming to school for nothing. I always advise everybody to at least log into D2L first thing in the morning, just to see if any of your instructors have made a new announcement for some reason or something like that. But you know, we announce tests, and yeah, we'll announce it in class too most of the time. But we're trying to also do the same thing on D2L.
Right.
So it's a good tool. There's also going to be assignments and activities for you on D2L that will help enrich your learning. And instead of necessarily always assigning you homework and giving you a sheet of paper, it may be on D2L.
Okay.
So it's going to be one of those things where you're going to want to get comfortable with it very early on.
Okay.
And that's pretty much. Connect is where you'll find financial aid. You'll be able to check your bill, register for classes. You'll be able to get into the advising portion of your classes. You'll be able to get your schedule, academic plan. You can check your grades and your transcript. That's all going to be in Connect.
Communicate with your advisors and all that good stuff. Yeah.
You know, here's some more good information that'll come from the Connect program. Yeah, I think we've mentioned all of this. And here's what the Connect system looks like when you first get on. There's just a lot of information there.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all about you as a student and what you need, what you can do. I mean, there's gobs of stuff here.
Yeah.
You know, financial, registration, your academics. This is your homepage. When you log in, and honestly, this is one of those things that you're not going to remember hardly anything of what we told you today, but you're going to pick it up and learn it as you go. Now, this is what we were discussing with D2L. D2L is going to be your school-based email.
Uh-huh.
Not only do we put announcements on D2L, but the campus does announcements. Say we have a hurricane coming through or a blizzard, you know, for some weird reason here in South Carolina, we're going to get a blizzard. And they shut the school down. They will make an announcement on D2L. So I advise getting into D2L every day just to see what's going on.
That's
This
your
is
Facebook account, pretty much.
First log on. You'll have your own list of classes over here, and this is where you actually go in and enter your virtual class.
Okay.
Every class that you take will have its own D2L virtual home. We don't use it as much as some courses do. Like I said, an online course, if, say you're taking online English, it's going to be heavy in D2L.
Okay.
For our classes, you're going to be doing a lot of in-class, in-lab. We're going to use it, but not as much as a fully online class.
Yeah.
So we also, there's a calendar in D2L to help you keep up with stuff. And we try to put as many assignments, quizzes, and exams on. Ooh, did we just lose him?
Huh?
Did we just lose Michael?
I think we did.
Yeah.
You did it again. You ran them out. It's assignments. We have to hold on and see if we can get them back. I think we have to cut that part from there, put that in the back end.
Yeah. Started talking about assignments and we chased another one off.
Damn it. Damn it. We'll see what happens. You should have got his email address and drag him back in. Get back here. We ain't done yet. Might be
Actually,
a
I
dis-
kind of like the orientation with just a few people in it.
I know.
Because I feel like we're able to really make it personal to them.
Well, the first one I went to didn't have the address on, but I went to the first one and it had like 20 people in there. It was another class. That's why I actually what was the link? Because the one I hit, it had like almost 20 people in there. They was just getting started, and I don't know.
Well, we'll give him a couple of minutes and see if he makes it back on. He
Yeah,
may have lost a connection.
or maybe the assignments ran them out. So we take this slide here and move that to the back, put that toward the end, see what works. Hey, I'm getting a little bald spot up there. I can see. I gotta
You
fix
know, I was looking earlier and I realized my forehead has gotten a little bit taller than it used to be.
it. I gotta start looking up now. I gotta look down. Oh my God, the grass is a little low.
Here he comes.
My computer died.
That's
Oh,
all right.
okay.
We were afraid we'd chase you off.
Nah.
All right. So I guess the best thing you need to remember is Connect and D2L. That's going to be your computer-based home for everything you do here at OC Tech. I'd go ahead and start playing with it, getting used to it, looking at it. We haven't started doing announcements on D2L yet, but you're probably going to see some today and definitely about the end of this week.
Okay.
So, and if you get to the point to where you want to do like I did, I didn't use the transfer program, but there are colleges there that will take our associate's degree and help you migrate those credits towards a 4-year degree. Like I said, I finished my associate's degree here in 2006. I went, of course, I was working the whole time. And then I went back in 2011 and got my double E. So there are colleges that will take our degree and our credits from here and put it towards the first 2 years of a 4-year degree if you so choose to. So
Now,
there's potential there if you want to.
yeah, if you don't mind, let me elaborate that a little bit more.
Go
Now,
right
if you
ahead.
do, like on your Gen Ed classes, especially your Gen Ed classes, if you do want to take the 4-year program, let us know so that we can change your Gen Ed classes so that the universities will take them, because some of the English that we offer through our courses they're limited in scope. Whereas if you take the universal English and the universal math, as far as algebra and all that good stuff,
Yeah.
it'll always stay in the system. It'll always stay there, and it'll save you money. It'll
Yeah.
save you money, really. So let us know if you plan on. And like I tell them all, just plan on taking that class. Because if you don't do it, you end up taking it twice.
Yeah.
As far as like English and math, if you want to do that. And if you go to a 4-year university, you're gonna get a lot of math and a lot of physics. So
Yeah.
you want to make it painless as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want you to take more classes than you have to. But it doesn't hurt to think about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm definitely considering the 2-year program. I spoke to the wife about it, so more likely gonna go that route.
It's one of the best investments that you will ever make in life.
the good thing about the 2-year program is it's always with you once you complete it. If you decide 10 years down the road you want to go back to school, it's there. You're good.
Yeah.
The certificate programs, some schools may take it. Some schools may not. They may say, hey, you've been out of school for too long.
Yeah.
That's why we always just try to encourage people to at least look at the associate's degree program and, decide from there. We want you to be informed. So let's see, we've talked about you'll see announcements on D2L. Some of them are specific for financial aid. So let's take a look at what's going to make you a successful student. I think it boils down to commitment and time.
Yeah.
If you're really serious about you're married, you know what a commitment like that is about. Next to kids and a wife,
Study.
training yourself for your career is your next big commitment. Honestly, you're pretty much deciding to get married to the electronics field. So you're gonna have to invest some time, and you know, pretty much my entire education, I was married and working at the same time. So I understand the time crunch problems that you're going to run into. The best thing I can tell you is trying to figure out how to balance and juggle and put the time in that you need to is just going to be, it's going to help you in the long run. The better you learn this stuff now, the less you're going to have to go back and try to relearn it later.
And communicate with your family. Let them know how important it is, not only to you, but to them as well. You know, the benefits. So, because like I said, you're going to need that time where there's certain things you're going to, the wife, you're going to want to go on a vacation, the kids going to want to go to the park, but daddy got to study, you know, or so they can do these things. So communication is a key. Because like I said, you're not only making an investment for yourself, you make an investment for your family. So keep them in the loop. You know, one of the key things to a good study is sometimes is including them. Including them, bringing them in, helping you study. I mean, we just sharing things with you that we've been through. Because when I was going to school, I had a family too, and it wasn't easy. But then again, it wasn't hard neither. So it's what you're willing to put in.
And to be honest with you, sometimes I think it's a little better doing it that way, because I know I wasn't ready for serious education when I was straight out of high school.
Right.
Which is the reason I didn't. I went to a 4-year school straight out of high school, and I ended up quitting because I wasn't serious towards it.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing well, and what it based down to is I just really didn't have my head into it.
Yeah.
Then I went back later for this associate's degree, and at that time, my head was in it. I knew I needed a career, and I needed a way to support my family.
Yeah.
And this was going to do that. So, you know, we encourage you to take different classes, but if you get into a crunch, sometimes it's better to take a lower load.
Yeah.
If you have to.
Right.
You know, I've had guys say, "Hey, I don't know that I'm ever going to go to the 4-year school. I just want to take the easiest math I can take to get the requirement by, so I can get this, so I can make sure I pass what I need to pass." That's okay. You know, we'll encourage you to do whatever you need to do.
Just don't quit. Don't stop.
Exactly. You know, you just stick with it. If you're struggling with something, you know, some guys, they'll come straight to us and say, "Hey, math is not my favorite subject." Well, this is a math-based program. There's a lot of math here. We'll help you the best way we can, but maybe you don't want to look at taking calculus, you know, something that's going to really make you struggle while you're trying to learn all this other stuff too. So, you know, we'll try to advise you the best we can. It's definitely not perfect, and we're not perfect. So some of it we just have to figure out as we go.
Yeah.
You know, attendance is probably the biggest thing, and with this COVID and everything, you're going to find out that they have relaxed the attendance policies just a little bit. There may be options to, if you're sick, we're going to try to have classes videoed so that you can still at least see what's going on. But we advise everybody, when you're able to come in here in body, try to make sure. I don't believe they're bringing people back to campus until what, like January the 25th?
Somewhere around there. But I do want to expand on that. Yeah, there's going to be times where you probably can't make it on campus for one reason or another. and if they valid, okay, we can get around that. But if you're going to use that to manipulate the system, or manipulate your situation, what you're really doing is cheating yourself. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you can be here, we would love for you to be here, because hands-on is going to be your biggest application to learning. Okay. And you can't apply it hands-on if you're not here.
Yeah.
So that we ask that, by all means, be here. Now, if you're sick, not feeling well, stay home. Let us know, and get well and come on back. But if you just want to use the layout and all that other good stuff, you just remember, you're not fooling me or Mr. Fannin. You're fooling yourselves. Okay. So don't do that. Don't cheat me. Don't cheat yourself.
Yeah.
And to add on to that a little bit, when I first went to school straight out of high school, I was doing double E up at USC, and it was not a lot of hands-on. There was a lot of theory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, a lot of the stuff didn't make sense to me that I was learning at USC, but it did when I got here, because we were actually learning it in the class and then putting it into application hands-on in the labs.
Yeah.
And that's when things really started clicking. So being here from start to finish, and a lot of guys come in and they're like, okay, we got this lab. I want to get it done and get it out of here because I want to go down to Chick-fil-A or something.
Yeah, don't rush through it.
Yeah.
Don't rush through it.
If you can hurry up and get through it, take that extra time to, we'll say play. Try to learn things. If you finish something early, go back and redo it again.
Yeah.
Utilize that lab time is your greatest learning experience. And the deeper you dig into it, the more you're going to learn.
Exactly.
If you just come in with the goal of, let me get this done and get out of here, honestly, what's going to end up happening is the following week, 9 times out of 10, the labs build off of each other. And we can't tell you how many times a guy comes in from, week 2, week 3, and he's like, oh, well, I don't know how to do this. You just did it 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't remember anything you did 2 weeks ago?
No, I forgot.
And what it boils down to is they came in and they just nailed that thing out as quick as they could, and then they were out.
Right.
And what ended up happening is, they got the lab done, they got the assignment done, but they didn't learn anything from it.
They retain anything.
Right.
So, take your time, work through it. There's going to be some stuff that's going to make you want to lose your religion.
And your hair.
Yeah. But honestly, we keep telling the guys, sometimes it's the struggle that makes you learn.
Yeah.
We're not going to give you all the answers, because it's the fact of you struggling and fighting through it is what's actually making you learn.
Exactly.
Sitting there for 30 minutes wanting to pull your hair out and break this machine because it's got you frustrated. But there's something special about that moment where you figure it out on your own and it clicks.
I going to grandma's house.
That.
It's not the destination. It's what happened along the way while we was going to grandma's house.
We go to grandma. Yeah.
We do. And them are things we want from you guys.
There are a lot of resources the school has here available for you. There are tutoring sessions, student success centers. We have a library here that's fully stocked with everything in it that you can probably imagine and more. So if you find yourself struggling with English, struggling with math, if me and Mr. Richardson, we may try to help you with something. If it's something that we can help you with, we may tell you, hey, there's a whole team of people down there that actually know more about this than we do.
Yeah.
Go down there and they'll be glad to spend a lot of time helping you through it. So there's no reason in having to sit and just struggle through a class when there's plenty of help there. So just keep that in the back of your mind that there's stuff there to help you.
Yeah.
It's all centered around helping you to succeed here and succeed in the future. You know, there's job placement services. There's things to help you find jobs. When it's time for you to do your resume, you can write your resume, and there's actually systems here where they'll take and they'll help you critique your resume to make it look as good as it possibly can.
Wow.
So just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And we'll try to remind you about this along the way, but that's what this orientation is for, to just kind of stick it there in the back of your head, so that at some point in the future you might go, hey, I need to make a resume, and I think I remember somebody saying something about somebody could help me with this.
Yeah.
So, and if you're interested in getting involved, there are committees and groups and things that you can do here. Student advisory board. There's all kinds of stuff available for you to get here and get active in the culture here at OC Tech.
Yeah.
There's also a program here about the quality enhancement plan. There's some information about that if you want to get to the point where you want to talk about it a little more. And that is the end of my spiel.